Welcome back to Verse by Verse. This is season 2, and we're now in episode number 5. Now, we're building off of where Paul left off by saying that he thanked God, talking to Philemon, making mention of him always in his prayers. But now, why is he thanking God? He says, because I'm hearing of your love and your faith, which you have toward the Lord Jesus Christ and toward all the saints. So let's think about what Philemon is thinking when he's reading this letter. In other words, what Philemon is realizing is all the things that he was doing at a complete distance from the apostle, who was locked up in Rome in a dungeon under Caesar's palace as a slave of Caesar, which Paul calls himself a prisoner of Jesus Christ. How would Philemon, who's hundreds of miles away, even by ship or even by caravan, be thinking in his mind that all these things that he was doing were actually reaching the ears of the apostle Paul? And Paul says, I've been hearing of your love and your faith. Think about the person that you've heard who's been a loving person. Think about a person who you've heard about their faith toward the Lord Jesus Christ and toward all the saints, the level of trust and love and unselfish service that they bring in their relationships to other people. Paul is trying to affirm to Philemon not only his gratitude in the previous verse, but now he's trying to reaffirm the fact that he has heard and that Philemon is known as being a loving person. He's known as being a person of faith towards the Lord Jesus Christ and toward all the saints. Now, that's a critical point because Onesimus, who eventually was converted through the ministry of the Apostle Paul, is no longer just a slave, a former slave of Philemon. He's also a saint. He's a part of the church. And Paul says, we've all heard about the love and the faith that you have toward all of the saints. So the critical component here is for us to sit back and ask ourselves, how are we going to define what people think of when they hear our names? When people hear your name, are they going to think of you as a loving person? Are they going to think of you as a person of joy or as a person of sadness? Are they going to think of you as a person of love or as a person of hatred and complaining? In essence, you and I get to decide what people think of when they hear our name. And please believe that there may not be an Apostle Paul that's hearing about our love and our faith, but there is someone even farther away than Paul was from Philemon, that Jesus, even in heaven, is also hearing of our love and our faith. That Jesus knows exactly the things that we're doing. So all the stuff that we think is in secret and in silent and no one knows and no one's paying attention, the truth be told, heaven knows. Heaven is aware. And this is the greatest encouragement, to be faithful even when no one's watching, to be true and to be honest even when no one is watching and giving you accolades and affirmation and recognition, because there is someone that is paying attention and that our reputation often precedes us. So as Paul builds this argument, we're going to also realize that in our pursuit of reconciliation in this polarized generation is really going to start with the recognition of what we have heard, the good things that we've heard about people, and acknowledging that good in them and expecting to see it again in the situation that we're bringing forward.